Hello, Reckoning7 here, and welcome back to Combat Mission Battle for Normandy, where we are closing in on Tourmauville with the Argyll and Southern Highlanders. So in the last video we kind of started pressing into the edge of Tourmauville, and we've kind of spotted the last of the German resistance. And a pretty strong resistance it is they're putting up. So we've got German infantry troops in kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buildings that all have at least one MG. And I've also spotted a rifle trooper on this balcony and a rifleman in this building. Less of a concern, but our big issue is really the number of entrenched machine guns they have, as well as this armoured car. So we went through a bit of a frustrating couple of minutes last time where I couldn't convince our Piat man to take the shot. So we're going to have to see what we can do about that this time round. But we did at least get confirmation that we took out their infantry gun, so we're starting to be a bit more aggressive with our Brens to bring them up and try and hopefully deal some casualties to these guys in these buildings. So in terms of what we're going to kick off with straight away, interesting to try and pull back this infantry team section, or detachment of a section I should say, back from this hedge line. I'm going to keep using this Bren gun to keep the guys in this upper story suppressed, which should hopefully allow the Piat team to get a pop-up. The kind of thinking here is that these guys should be hopefully kind of hidden until they manage to take a shot. We'll see how it goes. I'll probably entertain this maybe for one more minute. I'm not convinced this is going to be a winning strategy, but we'll see how it goes. Meanwhile, we are bringing forward a few more Bren guns, and he doesn't have any kind of automatic weapons. I'm going to get my engineers to blast a hole in this hedge so we can, if it comes to it, kind of put some forces in both these houses simultaneously to try and then put out some suppressive fire and open up another angle for this truck. The real reluctance I have to put anyone in here is the fact that they've got 1, 2, 3, 4 angles, and that one 5 of attack onto this building. So we're going to have a pretty difficult, if not impossible, job to actually get any effective fire out before we become suppressed ourselves. So we'll see how it goes. I am going to move this infantry, what's left of this infantry section, up into the third story here to assist in some suppressive fire onto these buildings. Like I say, we need to try and hopefully inflict some casualties rather than just get them suppressed. Meanwhile, B Company is continuing to advance. We know there is some German dudes kicking about in this field. So we've got a Bren section on a kind of target arc here. Bren detachment, sorry, I should say. And I have noticed that our 4 reserver has taken a casualty. I'm not entirely sure where that come from, so keep an eye on that. I've also asked this artillery piece, anti-tank gun even, to see if they can't hook up to the secondary carrier, so that the first one which they turned up in was destroyed. So we'll see if we can hook it up and maybe swing them out over here somewhere to potentially open up an angle to put some support fire in some of these buildings, because that would be handy. But yeah, without further ado, let's press on the next minute and see where we end up, see if we can't take a Piat shot at this vehicle. I think that would go a long way in making our life easier. As well as if we can actually inflict some casualties. So they've managed to pull back. These guys are unsuppressed. They just don't seem to have vision for some reason. Don't really know why that is. Considering the infantrymen had vision when they were there. Okay, so now we've got access to both buildings, that's good. So I think we've got these guys suppressed, but probably not much more than that. Ooh, okay. So our infantry section we were scouting forward here is copying fire from this building, which has no other suppressive fire on it, so I'll probably need to get these guys out there before they start taking casualties. Okay. Somewhat frustrating. I wonder whether I'd be better giving these guys an order to kind of pull back and then go forward again, to see if that would re-trigger some of their vision. We might just have to try that. Because like I say, I'm just not comfortable in trying to put anyone into here. don't think that would go well. Right, anyway, let's go into, well, before we do that, let's check. No, we've not had any movement over here. Okay, let's go into command phase. Yeah, I'll take them a few turns to get back there, but that's okay. So these guys have gone quiet, but let's keep the pressure on, because I'm no doubt that they're going to reappear. Question is, do I want him to switch targets to this chap? I think I shall. See if we can't get him to go quiet as well. Problem is, how do we push any of our infantry sections further forward without them taking greater casualty? Especially the likes of these guys who are just rifles. I mean, they've got a Sten gun, which is useful close quarters, but we've really got to get much closer before that becomes of any use. Okay. Right, I think we're gonna get these guys to pull back and then go in again and see if that doesn't reconfigure their vision. I mean, these guys still have good sight. Maybe it's Vadia was to pull them in here, but I'm sure I had them back here before and they couldn't see. So we'll give them maybe one more minute, another chance, and then we're gonna have to do something else with them. Meanwhile, I'll continue to move people in position for a possible move into this house. It's better if we keep those guys 2 down, and it does reduce our angles, but we'll... Again, I'm not convinced it's going to be a winning play. We'll have to see how that goes. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump, probably put cut in, check kind of movements of these. I've got a couple of sections just sitting around. Make sure I can get them in most advantageous positions, and then we'll come back for the next minute. Alright, check's complete. All the kind of sundry orders issued. Again, a lot of it is just kind of getting people into this general area for potentially making a push into these buildings, as uncomfortable as that makes me. I've not done anything with this section. I don't feel there's really anywhere I can move them to, because ultimately I'd like them to kind of come forward, but I think they end up with too many zones of fire for that to be effective. Yeah, so and I'll just keep pushing forward with B Company. So let's jump into the next minute. Let's see if this wiggle we've got this guy doing is going to help him spot this car. Because getting rid of that car is going to go a long way to making me feel better about our position. And then they go back. Let's see if that helps them open their eyes at all. Oh, yes it does. Go on. Oh, it's taking a long time for him to take a shot. What is going on with this guy? Here he goes. He missed. He missed. Can you get another way, or are they going to notice you and put machine gun fire? No, he's not done anything. Go on, son. Okay. Alright, okay. So not ideal, but let's go have another guy. It seemed to take forever to actually line up the first shot. At least he's got sight. He overshot. Interestingly, this hasn't seemed to notice them. They're not suppressed, so that's good. We did lose sight of guys. I mean, conversely, it's going to upset the guys in this building, which is good. So they have nominally gone suppressed. Be interesting to hear when that hits, if you get the no sound of 2 unhappy Germans. Oh, that's interesting. These guys have gone downstairs, or this chap has gone downstairs. Right, let's make sure we change our fire accordingly. That's good to know. So we're to be honest, we're upsetting them, if not much more than that. It's good to know he's gone out. That's going to open up some different angles for us. Any more? We haven't spotted what's happened to the guys over on this side. I'm worried they've kind of eventually pulled back here, which might cause a little bit of trouble for ourselves. But we'll keep pushing forward, seeing what we can see. So I'm tempted to actually utilize some of this, some of these guys in support, just to help with our final push. Which I might well do. Let's go into command phase. We don't have that long left in terms of time for this mission. See if we can't keep sneaking forward with our FO. I'm happy for you guys to kind of push forward to the edge of the field. See if you can't spot guys out here. I'm going to clear your fire arc. I'll leave you where you are. I'll get you to, again, I'll clear your fire arc and I'll get you to leapfrog forward. Come into here. Our guys are pretty close. My only concern is that we start catching some machine gun fire. Right, I'll move them off camera. I don't need to do that. This is hooked up. That's excellent. That is excellent. So I can do this. So I think we're going to bring it down. I was contemplating just honestly somewhere like the edge of this field. Just where they can start maybe putting just rounds, you know, into this building, into that building. Just help us eliminate people rather than just suppress them. So I will do that. I'll bring you over here. Meanwhile, right, I'm going to shuffle him up and get him to target that German. I'm going to leave my Piet there for another round. I'm not going to push in with these guys just yet. Any other things I want to do? And I'm contemplating trying to send someone to pick up this Piet, which is probably what I will do. But I'll do those off camera, and then we'll come back and I'll discuss if there's any other changes. Okay, and we're back with it. One thing worth mentioning. So with this brain carrier, I had talked about pushing him further forward to get a better angle in his house, but I don't want to draw fire from this thing. Although it's just, I mean, it's just a machine gun. MG34 it's got, so it's not the worst thing in the world to kind of face off against a brain carrier, but yeah, but it's definitely potential for partial penetrations, full penetration, spalling, all that kind of stuff if it comes under sustained MG fire. So I don't really want to do that, and there's nothing I can do to this vehicle from my carrier. So hedging my bet slightly with just moving them slightly wider to get the angle I need to have a go at this German trooper there. Yeah, that's about it. Meanwhile, just starting to kind of edge forward with a couple of these sections. And I did break off a two-man team to go and try and nab that Piet that's on the ground there. Yep. And that is about it. I think the big thing we need in this time is for our Piet man to take out this armoured car, and then given the other suppression we've seen, I'm starting to feel more confident about actual a push into these buildings. I think we've done enough to be able to actually get fire superiority when we move in here. But that does rely on us neutralizing this target. So that'll be the big question for this next minute. Boom. Excellent, excellent. Oh, what a start. What a start. Good job, you two. It'll be the, see, because it's the private with the gunner. I don't know what the chap's name is, but jolly good job. Whatever. Nice. Obviously not quite as satisfying as the tiger kill we got in another mission, but certainly satisfying. Nice. Good. Excellent. Excellent. That really opens up, or helps to open up this town, I should say. So he's taking pots at this brain carrier, which shouldn't cause us too much problems. Though that is my C company commander, or B company commander I should say, so I definitely don't want him to get injured. Hopefully this guy will get in position soon. So my FO is a little bit exposed there as well. Okay, we're getting some more spots. There is a machine gun team in there, which we haven't put any suppressive fire on yet. And I believe, did we find the machine gunner in here again? No, just the headquartered officer. Just the officer. Not seeing any flashing icons, which is good. Yeah, well, these guys might come into trouble actually, because that is an angle we've not closed down. You're doing a lot of faffing around, mate. Could you turn to face the right direction, please? probably going to have to get this carrier to switch targets onto that building. These guys would be doing well if they get out here without any trouble. Okay. But our chunkier support is in position. I can't believe you spent all minute doing that. I just want you to move over slightly. I think everyone still has their, yeah, arms, legs, heads all accounted for. Good. That was a productive minute, so I'm happy with that. Let's jump into the command phase. So we're into the final 11 minutes now. So that is not long at all. So what I'm going to do is I'll get these guys to shift over to probably this position, I think it is. I don't know why we can't see this bunker anymore. And see if they can't take some pot shots at that. Maybe because they're feeling a bit pinned from this MP40 fire. But these guys should have them under control. Do you know what? Actually, I'm going to hold off. I'll wait to see if we can't clear out a bit more space before sending the PA against that bunker. So I think... Oh, hello. You're from a knocked out HMG. Oh, you might be... Actually, this one dude, rifleman, could be the last surviving guy from in here. And indeed he is. Oh, I didn't know. That's interesting. I didn't realise it showed that. So obviously you can see when I select him, these indicate casualty icons showing that he was part of this section, platoon, well, not platoon, team, word I was looking for, at the start of the mission. Cool, that's good information to know. Right. Yes, now that you are faffing around, please move around to about there. I'm going to get you to shuffle forward a little bit. Just in fact shuffle wide a little bit. And then I would like you to change your angle of attack onto this house. Good. Yeah, you guys are just going to have to peg it forward. Apologies, I've put you in a bad spot. I've got my... Yeah, you guys aren't actually doing that much of use, and I have not seen the big troops in here for a while, so I suspect they may have gone downstairs after feeling the heat for a little bit too long. But I do think the time has come to try and put some firepower into these buildings. So we do have 3 brain guns. I don't know if we really want to put HQ in. In fact, there's 4 brain guns we can put in. So even if we put in 2 in each of the lower buildings, to try and do some immediate suppression. Plus the other angles. Yeah, I think it's probably worth it. Might come at a cost of a few casualties, but time is not on our side anymore. So we're probably going to have to make a bit of an aggressive move. Okay. So that's what we'll do. I'll go and issue orders for those 4 brain guns to come in just to the first story. And potentially put in some, just like a rifle team in one of the second stories. Just again, more angles, more targets for them to aim at, and hopefully more chances for us to keep them suppressed. So I will go do that, and then I will come back. Alright, and we're ready to push ahead. One thing I did change in mention was I've got this P team just to pull back. Like I say, I'm going to give it a minute to see if we can't clear out some, or thin out at least some of these teams before we bring them back in to try and knock out this bunker. Which we should be able to do because I think this is one of the sides, so we should be able to take it, pop it relatively easily as long as we can keep them out of harm's way. So let's jump forward and see if we can establish ourselves a little bit of a beachhead here. We'll also tweak some of the brain carriers to again to put some fire on here. And we'll see what happens. Again, the one well, good there's an injury there, we'll take that. Who's that we've hurt? Rifleman or officer? Just a rifleman. Well, I'll have to take it. See if we can demoralize them. That's also a bonus. And it looks like some of them have gone to ground as well. Okay, now I think I mean, it may speak too soon, but it looks like we're doing okay in terms of establishing a little bit of a beachhead here. No flashy icons, which is good. Getting ourselves established. Ooh, so we're taking 5 from that building. Yep. Okay, some more Germans we didn't know about. Oh. There, we finally made the spot. And of course, you're a German with a machine gun, because why wouldn't you be? Dear oh dear. Okay. Who? Oh, you guys can see him. I'd meant to pull you further back, but actually you've put yourself in a fantastic position to have a pop at that. Okay, so how do I feel about this? The getting in has gone okay. This worries me immensely. As an extra source of machine gun fire, which we hadn't dealt with. Because then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and maybe 5 if he wakes up. Although, we don't seem to have any more machine guns here. It's okay, so it's not quite 5 machine guns. But he's got an MP40, which is dangerous. He's suppressed. He's suppressed. He is not. He's probably the big threat at the minute. And what, if anything, can we do about that? Well, where has... Wait, hang on. Where has... Why are you all the way over here? That's not where I wanted you to go. I wanted to go in here. Alright, I'll need to shuffle you forward to probably somewhere about here, which means it's another turn where you're not going to be as useful. Meanwhile, we've not had any further spots on here, so it's still feeling good about pushing B Company forward. We will need to do in the last 10. But that went okay. That went okay. Next minute could be slightly painful. It might be a good idea to back up who we've already got in here. And decide how we're going to put some pressure on that. Yeah, you've moved all the way over here as well. Hang on, let's... What was going on there? Why? Is this just your inability to turn? You've ended up doing a really bizarre maneuver, potentially. Well, it's not what we really asked for. Did you panic? Is that what happened? Ah, okay. So you actually caught some damage and decided to run away. I see. Didn't take any injuries from it though, but you got spooked. Who had a go at you then? You don't even know. Interesting. Meanwhile, I think we saw some other fire coming across here. Oh, it might just be ricochets. Nope. Hang on, where was that from? Let's go back here, look at our valiant forward observer running forward. Definitely coming, so it might be more than just that one guy in the building, unless you switch sides, which is possible, but odd. And then you've run miles away. Okay, we can deal with that. We can definitely deal with that. You're not happy. And which means you might not be firing, so we'll have to look at that. Okay, let's jump into command phase and we'll issue orders for the last 10. So what we're going to do, I will sort this Bren dude out. He is doing a good job here, so potentially I could swing him around to put some fire into the back of this house, but I'm now getting into a time where I've got a shortage of carriers. Well, ideally what I'd like to do is actually bring the engineers and begin that hole to get additional carrier out. And we can start opening some angles, because I'm worried these guys are not actually using their machine guns anymore. So I might have to try that with engineers, but that's risky. It's risky. Let's see how we get on. Aside from that, I'll get our Piet teams to pop a hole in those, and we'll have to see if we can hold on to this bridgehead without taking further casualties, or any casualties really, because we're not taking any so far. Okay, I'll go do my orders, and I'll come back in a minute. Alright, so orders issued. So as discussed, we'll get Pia to take out that, which will give us some objective points if nothing else. I am going to try and get my engineers to get across here, though I'm a little worried for their health. One other thing is I'm pulling my brain carriers here back a little because I'm worried they're actually starting to get too close to this hedge, which is actually going to interfere with some of their lines of fire. Meanwhile, I'm going to get... Oh, no, I don't want you to reverse, Miles. I might actually get him to say exactly where he is, because I'm going to borrow this carrier to put some fire in this, which I'm not particularly happy about, to be honest. This is my B Company HQ, and I should, under no sensible reason, should I have them anywhere near the action. And yet, for some reason, they are not only leading the line of B Company, I'm using them to put a little bit of suppressive fire down. So, yeah, maybe not the most sensible decision there. Meanwhile, B Company is just continuing to push forward, not bumped into anything just yet. And I will need to keep a reasonable pace on, but we've only got to get to there, so it should be okay. And I probably, and in fact I will, want to bring this section forward as well and put them into use somewhere. Meanwhile, it's just going to be a case of seeing if we can't hold on. I have actually moved one Bren section upstairs because we don't seem to be able to spot much from where they are. And we'll see how it goes. Excuse me one moment. Alright, sorry about that. Just doing some recording during the day for once and have a few IRL interruptions. You may or may not have heard that in recording. But anyway, let's jump back on. So, let's push forward for the next minute and see what we can get done. I'm a little nervous about taking some casualties here. Oh, that is some firefight. Oh, I meant to mention we also spotted a German sniper just up in this building. It's another thing to overcome. At least we've got one more German casualty there. Unfortunately, another just rifleman rather than the MP40 wielding chap. But so far, I did it. Had to say it. Well, actually, they're just pinned. It was just a grazing injury, minor injury. Oh, and that is a nice sight to see. Not surprising, to be honest. The guys lined up perfectly. I'm surprised these guys just kind of sat there the entire time. And it did take a second shot, but let's see that in its glory. Boom. And those three guys are having a bad day. So I think he had 4 shells left. That's the wrong team. Yeah, and he's used 2 of them. So he will need to keep firing at that till it's properly knocked out. But he should be able to manage that. Meanwhile, these guys are okay. They pinned, and to be honest, I'm kind of happy with that. As much as I value all my pixel trooping, they were a little bit of a decoy so that my Brens could get in the action. But the problem will be where they have line, or some enemy has line of sight in them, which the Brens do not, which may well happen. Aside from that, we have seemed to push forward reasonably well. And our only challenge now will be seeing if we can actually gain the ground as well as putting out all this firepower. At least that's another avenue, and our engineers got over there without incident, which is good to see. Oh. Again, just a minor injury though, so that's good. Okay, all in all, actually, that was quite a successful minute. Now, we've taken out the bunker. Good job. We got another 1 injury there, which, you know, not to be sniffed at. These guys have all gone very quiet, so we may have picked up some more injuries I just cannot see, to be perfectly honest. And they have all gone very quiet. What happened to our various carriers? Just want to... Oh, hello! Alright, we shall definitely have to see what happens with those guys. I knew they were here somewhere. I didn't realise they'd be quite so close. That's amazing how hidden these guys were. And suddenly we spot them. Are we going to shoot at them? Okay, so it's the brain guys from back here getting involved. These guys gonna get involved? Maybe it needs to open up before they do that. The slow turn of the Bren carrier. Come on, I don't want him to run away behind this hedge again. There's one down at least. Turn, man, turn. Okay. Well, looks like two of them are going to make it. And they're down again. Alright, something to be aware of as we move forward with our troops. Also means we didn't put any additional fire on this house, which we wanted. But I actually got away with it in the end, so I'm not going to complain too much about that. And now we can start to bring one of our carriers forward. Excellent. Alright, let's jump into the command phase. So, for this next minute, I think it's going to be a case of bringing this carrier forward, try and put additional angles on this house. And I'm tempted to try and move some of my riflemen forward slightly as well. Move them into here. I'm conscious because I know there's people down here, but I need to formulate some kind of plan on how to bridge this gap without getting myself horribly mangled. But I think we'll manage. And we've now got our AT piece, who I would quite like once you get to where you're going to deploy the weapon, and we're just going to use whatever ammo we've got to pop shots in some of these buildings. Okay, I will go away, issue orders, and then come back, so I would like to get probably the next 2 minutes done in this video before we call it a day. Alright, we're back and ready to jump into the action. Again, I'm going to be relying on my brain carriers, so to really kind of get a lot of the work done here without taking too many casualties. Oh, hang on a minute. What have we just spotted? Huh, supply truck. That's cool. Who on earth has spotted that? Oh, our major getting the spots in. Okay. I don't think that really means too much for us, but interesting to see nonetheless. Let's move back into a better position. And we'll keep going with the action. There we go. I'll try not to jump around too much actually during the fights. So we seem to be doing okay in terms of exchanges. Oh, they've unsuppressed themselves over here. It's really going to be a case of getting our carriers into better positions to then suppress them. And those guys did go downstairs, and indeed. Well, again, it's just a minor casualty, so we are definitely benefiting from this urban defense, but it won't hold up forever. And more importantly, at some point we need to bridge a gap and actually get into these buildings if we're going to try and deny the Germans a complete hold. Oh, hello. Hang on. I want to go see what that movement was. I think... Okay, so either they've just gone downstairs, which is entirely possible. Well, he certainly is downstairs, so that's possible. It could also be they've taken a casualty, which caused their icon now to move over, because it's now directly over him. So if there was, say, two of them, and a rifleman somewhere has now bitten the bullet, and that's re-centralised on top of that chap. So that could also be what happened. So I don't think we actually took any casualties there. Few injuries, so a few bits of uncomfort. But yeah, actually no firm casualties, which is good. Also, some of these guys are reappearing, which is to be expected. I'm not imagining we actually put that many kills down. And did we see what happened to the chap in here? This is quite an annoying position. I think he's just suppressed. Yeah, just suppressed and then disappears from view. Tricky is how we're going to get close enough to really do anything more to these guys, because there's so many angles we've got to cover at once. But we're doing okay, I think. Maintaining a base of fire. Looks like we're making the odd casualty without taking anything more than a few injuries. Oh, yes, let's see if these guys reared their heads again. They did indeed. Presumably we're going to shoot at them. Who can see them? Oh, he's disappeared again. These guys, oh, it's just these guys again. Okay, I think he's just going to be a speed bomb until these guys actually spot him and then he'll get taken out. Good. Hopefully you'll be deployed by the end of this minute and we can start sending some shells into these lower buildings and clear them out. Which will make life a lot easier. And you should be in a position now, clear your target and actually shoot in the back of this house. Okay, let's jump into the command phase. So we're going to push for 1 more minute. So all the changes I'm really going to make here. So I'm going to get this Spren section to target this building. I'm going to get the AT gun to start putting some rounds in the ground floor of these buildings. I'll probably start with essentially this one since he's up and about. And I think I'm going to try and move some troops into this hedge line. With a vision of, potentially popping through here with my last blast charge, I think. Oh no, I've got no more. Okay, well I'm not doing that. But I am tempted to move them forward. Just try and get in a bit more of an advanced position. But it looks like if we're going into this building, we've got to come in this way or come in that way, both of which are covered. But if we can eliminate the guys in this building through use of AT gun, that should make clearing this out a lot easier. Alright, I will jump away to my orders and then come back for the last minute of this episode. So my grand plan has a slight hitch in that my AT piece here is claiming, and I appreciate they are still unlimbering, but they are claiming they cannot see the ground story of this building. Which I don't believe, because obviously I'm at complete ground level here. And I appreciate the wheat's a little bit crazy, but yeah, we can definitely make line of sight. And I think it might be the fences are upsetting them. Because if you're looking at a look through, you can see that it goes blue to pink when it goes through that fence. I think they might be unwilling to shoot through a fence, which is a bit frustrating. So we may not be able to use them, but I will let them completely unlimber. Aside from that, all orders issued as discussed. He says, forgetting that he didn't actually order this one. So I'm going to get you guys to come into here. And you're slightly expendable, so I want you to get in there just for eyes, if nothing else. Probably a little bit dangerous there and getting a little bit forward, but we'll call that good enough. We'll see if we can't inflict any more injuries upon the Germans. So there's good fire going out. Obviously, as the same way we're not receiving casualties, we're not inflicting casualties. So we can't really complain too much about it. We've just got to try and get close enough. Ooh. Ah, see, he was too far over. He caught the MG4 at close range from there. Okay, I can't really complain about that. Oh, someone's legging it. This is... ish. He's legging it ish. So he's just got scared, he's moved away from the window. Oh, man, I would love to put some high explosive rounds into there. But it is not to be. Ah, and we took an actual casualty of one of the riflemen upstairs, which, okay, it's probably to be expected. Oh, we found the remains of the gun crew. Looks like they've had enough and are running away. Hopefully we can take some shots of them before they go. Yeah, he's caused me problems in his new position there. Oh, our carrier's immobilized. That's incredibly unfortunate. So I think they've become bogged down. Oh, that's annoying. That's just one less carrier. Has that happened this minute, or did I just not register that? No, it has happened. Look, got bogged. And then they tried to get out, failed, immobilized. So we are one carrier down. Oh, terrible, terrible. So I'm going to have to bring him round to be my second carrier to try and put more pressure back on this building. Okay. And it looks like they've made it out of here. Interesting, interesting. Right, so a little bit of progress this episode. Obviously, we've managed to clear out a few places, but most of the machine guns are still up and running, even if they're a little bit shaken. So it's going to be a real challenge to try and clear out enough so we can actually put some troops in these buildings before we end. And I don't see us getting much further. I don't see us getting beyond this wall, to be honest. But if we can get in here and at least get a shared objective, I'll take it. I think between that, the bunkers, taking Tourmauville, we should at least get a minor victory, if not a complete major one. But I'll take that. Anyway, this video has gone on far too long. I do hope you have enjoyed watching it. And I'll catch you in the next one, which will be the final episode of this attack on Tourmauville. So I'll see you then.